I love being terribly sick. I can't explain it. I love the cold sweats. I love the migraines. I love not being able to fall asleep. I love having the TV in the background, turning it just quiet enough to not bother my headache. I love getting into that certain laying position where the stomach pains finally calm down, and I just absolutely love the feeling of throwing up, the before, after, and during. The only things I can't stand about being sick are the dry coughs, stuffy nose, and cold medicine. Added bonus, the day after your sickness is past feels really good. Edit. Nobody asked, but I have a list of my top 4 favorite things to throw up for. Sprite / 7-Up 3, tea with milk 2, ice cold water 1, carbonated drinks, Coke. Edit 2. I knew this was unpopular, but people are genuinely freaking the fuck out over this. People keep asking questions, so I'll answer them here. Yes, I know the difference between a bad headache and a migraine. No, this isn't a shit post. I'm not an Urkel cultist. I don't like the pity people give me when I'm sick. Because I live alone, I'm mentally fine. I realize the sentence terribly sick is a little extreme for what I was describing. Sorry about that. What the fuck have I been reading today? First, someone who literally hates musics. Now this shit. I read that also. Lol. It's something. Do not compare me to that guy. I'm not that bad. Nose picking is extremely satisfying. There's nothing greater than getting out that ass big budger that's been blocking your breathing for the entire day when staying / working in a dusty place. Just remember to stick it to a tissue, not to your surrounding furniture, and you're good with your conscience. Or that sort of dry one that you peel from the wall of your nostril. Nice, this relief is doubled. If it was large and hindering your air for the past 2 hours and you could feel it, and when you get rid of it, you can breathe clearer. Ever had sinusitis? I had a massive hardish sticky snot blocking my nose for 2.5 over 3 weeks. When I finally managed to shoot that fucker out, it was the most satisfying thing ever. I hate it when people say alright to K whatever year, egg to K19. I wish they would just use 20 instead. It feels so wrong and makes me cringe, like they're trying to uphold a cool standard nobody even set. It's the date, not a AAA fantasy sports game. That's all. I just wanted to bitch about it somewhere. I've never seen it but agree. So consider yourself hated for introducing me to it. You're welcome. Let's all hate each other in a wholesome together hate during these trying times. Fuck you. You don't really want to learn about taxes in school, you just want to complain about school. I know the education system is fucked up and it sucks mostly, but when people say shit like, oh, we should learn important things in school like economy, taxes etc. I get like, yeah sure. From all the people that ever said that about 6% would actually be interested in learning this shit, the rest would be like, wow, this class is boring. May I to my head out, because the whole problem with our education system is not what they teach us, but rather how they teach us. Most teachers don't actually know how to make their subject sound interesting, and when you're not interested in something, anything becomes better than paying attention. Even if we learn taxes or economy, if the method used by the teacher to teach was boring, the outcome would be the same. A bunch of bored teenagers thinking about random shit. Also, it's been 2 years since I left high school, and oh god, I know I would have freaked out if I had a taxes class. And you may say this isn't unpopular, but the amount of people I saw saying we should learn about taxes in school is unbelievable. Truth. I went to a school where we actually did learn taxes, and people still complain non-stop because they can't pass a basic math test. These people who complain about not being able to do taxes don't even have the patience to Google how to do them and watch few videos on it. How are they gonna sit through a whole semester of it in school? If you're at the point of Googling how to do your taxes, people should be using TurboTax. I'm 19 and it's easy as fuck. All I gotta do is plug some numbers in. I hate listening to music. I never listen to music while alone. Music just seems to irritate me or put me in a bad mood. I'm always nervous talking to people and expecting them to ask me what kind of music I like, and I can't come up with a good answer. I prefer just listening to podcasts or watching movies. Wow, I thought my opinions were unpopular. You should have seen the time I said Will Ferrell wasn't funny. What? Talladega is fucking hysterical, are you serious? I don't mind getting my sleeves wet after washing my face or hands. When I wash my face wearing a long sleeve tee or a shirt, I usually don't bother rolling up my sleeves because I like that cool feeling that lingers from the dampness. Friends strongly disagree though for reasons I don't understand. That is very unpopular indeed. You are a monster lol. Even Satan himself cringed at this. If you clap on beat during a performance, you're a jerk. It's loud, it's distracting, and 9 times out of 10 the crowd gets off beat in the first 15 seconds. If you're feeling the music that much, just silently tap your foot. Just because some random dingus decided to slap his hands together doesn't mean you have to also. Double the asshole points if you start it and it's off beat. Actually subconsciously a clapping group would fall in line with the music, unless others are purposefully clapping off beat, which means that clapping off beat on purpose is worth way more than double points as you can pull everyone near you off beat as well. Pineapple does belong on pizza. This is an argument that has been going on for years, but in my opinion, it doesn't matter what kind of pizza you have, pineapple will always have a place on it. It doesn't even matter if it's warm or cold, it just fits. Well, at least somewhere you're right. It's a very unpopular opinion. Some people just don't appreciate a good pizza. It totally does. I don't care what you'll say. Absolutely. Take my upvote, you wonderful person. Most kids don't hate vegetables. Most of the time people are bad cooks. Growing up my parents were excellent cooks. They catered weddings as a side job. Needless to say I was incredibly lucky. I understand a lot of parents are incredibly busy, but it's not hard to avoid overcooking broccoli. I don't understand. I remember going to friends' houses and getting soggy green beans with zero seasoning on it. Of course I ate the fries and barely touched anything else. School lunches in the US serve veggies that are pretty nasty from what I remember, and contributes to this kids hate veggies problem. People should cook kids meals properly so children aren't turned off by veggies and are encouraged to have healthier habits, but that's just my opinion. Traffic noises shouldn't be allowed on the radio. I don't think sirens, horns, genre traffic noises should be allowed on the radio in any form, meaning none in songs or ads. Every time I hear a horn or siren in a song it makes me check all my mirrors and make sure I don't need to get out of the way of someone. Songs should have radio edits removing these noises. If you want to listen to the original cuts via Bluetooth, CD, MP3, whatever, more power to ya, but radio edits should be clean edit. There's also this flashing red sign in my town at night that gets me lol. I guess that's for another post maybe. I don't understand still exist in the first place. I'm pretty sure no one ever listens to them outside a car. And even in the car, why would you not just connect your phone or MP3 player if you want to listen to music? You also don't need it for traffic updates or warnings. You can have those on your navigation system. You do realize not everyone has GPS system and MP3 hookups in their car, right? I still listen to the radio all the time. I like talk shows, and to hear new music I wouldn't take the time to find. Also I don't have time to fiddle with finding music on my phone when I jump in the car, so I just go through the stations instead. Teenagers should not be treated like children when they commit murder. Obviously when it comes to things like underage drinking, doing drugs or even stealing they should be given some leniency, but when they commit murder or help someone commit murder they should be charged as adults. End of story. Teenagers should know better than to take someone else's life. I knew when I was fucking 5. If a teenager commits murder, it is no different than an adult committing murder and should be treated as such. Teenagers usually are treated like adults when committing crimes. They are simply placed into juvenile detention centers to serve their sentence, rather than adult prisons, in order to protect them from abuse. The age of criminal responsibility around the world is almost always 16. There are a few outliers of course, but in general, teenagers are treated precisely the same as adults. When they have committed a crime, they simply aren't punished in an adult prison, because doing so would be ridiculous, dangerous, and nonsensical. If you're above the age of criminal responsibility and you commit a crime, the punishment will be, broadly speaking, inherently similar, whether you're a teenager or a middle-aged person. Sending foreign aid and charitable donations to Africa is a waste of time and money. Africa receives about 133 billion in aid, grants, and loans. Pennsylvania 133 billion dollars. And what does this achieve, really? The reality is, exceedingly little. It's a black hole economy that runs at a loss of about 85 billion per year and still ranks highest in the world for abject poverty and social problems such as rape. There isn't an African nation in existence that score higher than greater than 3/10 on the Corruption Perception Index. More than a quarter of the world's hungry live in sub-Saharan Africa. 25 million Africans are infected with AIDS, including over 2 million children. There is no true first world African economy. 41% of sub-Saharan Africans exist in abject poverty. 27 of the world's poorest countries are African. It gets worse too. The birth rate in Africa is 3 times higher than that of Europeans, and the child death rate is literally the highest in the world, around 16 times that of the developed world. Tell me, what good is it exactly that the enormous amounts of money we send to Africa is actually achieving other than to line the pockets of dictators and petty warlords, and to ensure the continued birth and deaths of children due to the fact that the continent simply isn't set up to cater to a large population? We are paying poor people to get fucked over by despots and to have kids who will die. What Africa needs is birth control, Chinese flavor, having access to modern medicine and food with pre-medieval social structures just produced overpopulation, ecocide, and misery. Harsh, but 10,000% true. Hey lovely bastards, like and subscribe if you want to see more.